All right, everybody. I want to chat with you guys today about our energy levels and the movement within our ascension process, the movement within our awakening process, and this evolution of energy. And some days you guys are going to find, and you have found, that you are like peaked up, you're raring to go, you're like all in, everything's aligning, life feels juicy. And then other days it's like you could be tired as fuck, or you are not motivated at all and you don't want to kind of maneuver. And some days are even on the other side of that. It was like you feel like you're in chaos, you feel like you're struggling, you feel like you can't make traction. And every single wave of energy that's moving through our field right now is necessary in our evolution as spiritual beings. And I want to talk into this today because sometimes I feel like we're resisting the transition in all of the aspects of these dimensional plays. Like most of us, when we're on, we're riding the wave, right? We're all in, we're moving through, we're like, let's get it done, let's maneuver this forward. This feels aligned, this feels juicy, this is amazing, awesome, and we're in it, right? And we're always in it. And I find that the days like today, I'm in a really tired state. Now, granted, I did do an 18-day travel day yesterday. I only had like an hour and a half of sleep the night before because I had to get on the road really early. And all the physical things were showing up, but there's also the energetic space right now of what I'm in, the looking at it in integration, the like taking a lens on the situations that were happening in my world over the last 48 hours, and what does this feel like and mean for me? And instead of just, supporting the body, like having the naps, drinking the water, eating the clean food, doing the stuff that I know to recalibrate, it's also about really diving into the energy. Like, why do I feel like I'm really tired today energetically? What does this actually look like for me? How does this feel like for me to live in this life? Was I around draining things yesterday? And why did it feel draining for me? And really diving into this energy, because when we do the work, not just in the let's get her done alignment, this feels juicy, but when we actually dive into the energies that don't feel that great, that maybe are blocking us or keeping us low, we actually get the pieces that allow us to see differently the whole entire puzzle, that allow us to then get the infrastructures to be able to move through them differently, to when it happens, to accept them and honor them, to actually understand how to do life still in alignment when we're in them, right? Because it's one thing when you're in your flow and you're moving through and things are feeling awesome and stuff's dropping in and clients are dropping in your space, and you feel really good that like social post is getting reach and people are getting the imprint of your light and all the things. But it's in the other spaces of how do we also hold this beautiful ebb of duality? I was once in a master class with a mentor of mine, and she was teaching about the wave, and the wave runs a high, but it also has to drop into a low. And it's part of the energy of the flow of the earth experience. It's part of gravity. It's the actual polarity of life, right? And when we understand this about our own lives, when we're up and we're up here, but then we come down into this quietness, into this release, into this nothingness of the wave, it's also part of our whole entire experience. Because some of us are driving towards just having the days where we're on, just being over here. And that's amazing. But I don't know about anybody that I've ever been able to see that can just sustain this. When we move into the ebbs of that wave, it's like we can be still in the awareness. We can hold it differently in our field where it's not this big destitute of energy, where it's not like this massive, shifting and hitting the rocks and like being knocked out for a while. It actually still can feel connected and deeply rooted in the juiciness of this. One of the last guest podcasts that I did on season 2 in the Light Warriors Unleashed podcast, we talked about the feminine energy and about the dark feminine and how potent and her power is when we're in the dark. And this is the exact same type of energy. It's one thing when we're all in the light and we're moving through the light, but it's also in the shadow work that we do and holding our dimensional selves and being really in the availability to bridge the gap between both and to just be in all the facets of us that comes the actual potency of our light. And this is something that most of us have been taught is bad, right? I don't know about you, but growing up in certain environments and going to certain school systems and being around certain types of people, we're taught that certain things are bad. Feeling like some of us have been taught that our emotions were bad. Some of us have been taught that we can't fully express ourselves, that that is bad. Some of us were taught that, you don't cry or you don't do this or you don't do that. And the people that taught us this maybe didn't know, because they never were taught that we are expanded multidimensional beings, and all of the dynamics of our chosen personalities, our chosen pathways are important in the landscape of all of it. Every single part of us, all of the pieces, we chose this exact body. We chose this personality. We chose the drive in us. We chose all these dimensions. We chose the lessons. We chose all of it. And that is part of the experience about coming down to be a soul. We're like, okay, here's our mission right here. This is what we're choosing as a mission. And that body is going to serve my mission. Those characteristics are going to serve me. And when I move off of alignment and I move out of my light of alignment, I will know and be pinged when I'm off. Now, some of us are just awakening into this process, so we don't know the pings yet. We don't know where the mechanisms are yet. We aren't sure about what this looks like yet. We're still discovering, which is an amazing journey to be on. Some of us have been doing this work like me for 15 years now, just crazy to think. Literally next month, it'll be closing of 15 years. So it's so nuts, even when I just look back on who I was at the beginning, who I am today, the process, the decisions, and all the things. But it's like I created in my physical form in a misalignment in my physical form, that when I was off path and I wasn't in my alignment in all the juiciness of what that was, my body would gain weight. And I didn't know it at the time when all this was happening. And I even look back on certain images and photos of me, 2022, 2021, 2017, 2016, when I started really gaining weight. I was like, what was going on in my life? And if I look back on all these things, I could tell you exactly what was going on in my life. I'm in a space right now where a lot of that weight's been released. I'm still in the pursuit of the highest vibrational state within my physical form, what that means for me, eating wise, working out wise. What does my body crave? How do I move my body? I'm about to start to do some martial arts work at the end of April with a one-to-one trainer, because I'm really craving the warrior spirit within me to learn how to fight again. I've done it before in the past lives, in this life, and I'm craving to bring that back into my life. My body's desiring that as an outlet. And that's going to change my physical form and the way I show up. It's going to shift some stuff in my world. It's going to move some energy through. And I'm on the pathway still of discovering what this is. And maybe I will never be off the pathway of that, because one of the imprints in my world is this discovery of this balance within my physical form, of this beautiful union within this space. But I can't hold that unless my mind and my energy is in understanding to support it. So when I say this to you guys about both dynamics of all of our worlds and all the pieces are important, we no longer are being called to hide. We're being called to come out of this shell of what we've been living within and fully embrace who we really are in all the aspects of this, in all of the ways that it is. And I'm not telling you need to go to social media and write this as a post. I'm bringing it into your field to consider this in your energy as you move through. Where are you really being called? What does this look like for you right now? How does this hold space for you right now? What is this movement of light within your field? And how does this play out in your world? And that's the quest that we're on. So I wanted to drop in today on this quick video to serve you in that space of this energy today, of this consideration. Where are you being called right now to own all the duality within you, to step into the space, to release the infrastructures of the belief systems that have been holding you back for so long in this space? It's time, my friend. We're being called forward to fully illuminate our light. And here we are at this very moment together right now that you clicked on this video and you've been here through this whole entire time that I've been talking. This is for you. This was channeled in for you. Now you get to decide how you use it, what you do with it, when you run, when you walk, when you sit down, what this looks like in the field of this experience that we're moving through together. But all I'm going to do is encourage you right now to take a look, to see it, to feel it, to be with it, and to move through it. And with that, I'm complete. All right, we'll talk to you guys all soon.